Boys and girls, let's not waste any more time. Not that we really were wasting time. I don't even know why I said that, but let's get busy right away. Let's go straight into part C. We're going to debug with unused variables. So sometimes you create a variable on the top of your code. Like you can see, the variables all come at the top of the code. Those are the purple blocks. We've named a variable called ear size, eye size, and center. Now, sometimes you make them and you forget to use them, or you just decide you don't need to use them. And so that's something you need to address, because if the program doesn't use a variable that you created, you get an error message. Okay, so we got to fix that. So it says in the code below, variables are created, but none of them are actually being used. Can you find spots where they can be used? Okay, so we have to check ear size, eye size, center. Let's run the program. We have a nice looking teddy bear. Now, ear size. Let's think about where these ears are located. And first of all, let's really analyze what's happening here in the picture. Okay, now this teddy bear is quite a few circles, right? And some of them are without fill, and you can see where this one, line 15, says no fill, and then actually an arc is drawn. And I didn't make you learn that, but you can tell that you have the arc in here, and it's basically like the point and the shape and the line, just the coordinates, and it tells you what's going on. You have the X and Y coordinates for where it's centered. You have the width and height of the arc, and then starting and stopping means how many degrees do you want it to go through. Do you want it to be 360? In this case, no, we want the arc to be from 35 degrees to 145 degrees. That's the smiley face. That's the smiley face. So this last line is the smiley face, okay? That's why it's given no fill, okay? And also there's an ellipse that's brown. Okay, so you have an ellipse for the ear, an ellipse for the other ear. You have ellipses for the eyes. You have ellipse for the nose. You have an ellipse for the mouth. Well, say the snout. And then you have an arc for the mouth and a line for the, like this part right here, the middle of the lip. So, and they're being drawn, remember, from top to bottom. This is very important you understand this. From top to bottom, that's how the code is read. That's how it's drawn. So you can see that we can't see all of the ears. We can't see all of the right ear. We can't see all of the left ear. That means they must be at the top of the code. Okay, so that tells us, it helps us figure out that for this fill color, saddle brown, we have ellipses being drawn. They must be line 6 and 7 must be the ears. Okay, so what I'm going to do is for the variable that says ear size is going to be useful in line 6 and 7 because those are the ears. They're being drawn first. And then this ellipse, line 8, that I'm waving around is the big head, And then this last ellipse here is the snout that contains the mouth and the line right here and the nose. Okay? So if I want to use the variable ear size, I want to use it in the ellipses that are the ears. That's line 6 and line 7. Now, we know that in an ellipse, the parameters are x, y, w, h. So here, x, let's zoom in a little bit, x, y, w, h. So w and h are the ones that we can control with the variable. So right here, instead of 80, I'm going to type ear size, and I'm going to delete those numbers. And then I'm going to copy and paste that into the next one, ear size. And I'm going to do the same thing right here and right here. Now, let's see if we run the program, shouldn't be any changes. Voila, we still have a beautiful teddy bear, but we use the variables. Okay, now eye size. Now be careful, the eyes, okay, first of all, where are they in the code? How can you tell which ellipses are which? Well, you have to go by this idea of layering. Remember, the code at the top is drawn first, then the next shape, then the next shape, then the next shape on top of each other. So one shape is drawn, then you have another shape, then another shape, then another shape as you go from top to bottom in the code. So it's reversed. The code goes from top to bottom, and the drawing goes from bottom up to the top, basically the background to the foreground. Okay, so the eyes are black. That's our first clue. So we have to wait until after line 10 to see where the eyes are, because that's when our black ellipses start, is line 10. And then we have lines 11, 12, and 13 to choose from. So which ones are they? Well, looks like the nose is slightly bigger than the eyes. Can you see that? Nose circle is bigger than the two eyes. So if we use a little logic, we can tell that the ellipses in lines 12 and 13, let me zoom in a little bit. Lines 12 and 13, the width and the height are both 15. Okay? And here, 15 and 15. And then this one must be the nose with 20, a width of 20 and a height of 20. So the nose must be line 11, but the eyes must be lines 12 and 13. So I can use the variable eye size in the width and the height. So right here and right here, oh, hang on, right here and right here and right here and right here. So I can type in the word right here, eye size, and then I copy that and paste it in the next one. Let me get myself out of the way. Then I can do the same thing here, and I can do the same thing there. Now, I shouldn't have any, when I run the program, it should just like the beautiful teddy bear that it is. Same, no changes, because I put the variables in the right spot. That's how you know you're doing it right. If the teddy bear still is looking good, you're doing good. Now, we haven't used the variable center yet. That can be used for, the center is at 200. So that could be the center of the ellipse at 200 is the head. Okay, and the head is, like we already talked about, line 6 and 7 were the ears, but then the head was line 8. So we want to make this, actually, that's at 205. Okay, hang on. So it's at 200, 195. That's odd. But at least we could use it right here. We could use it, well, basically we can use the variable center any place that we see the number 200. So here, we could type in center. Here, we could type in center. Here, we could type in center. Okay, here we could type in center. Here we could type in center right there. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Let's check. Our program still runs perfectly. Done. Let's go to the next one. Good job, boys and girls.